You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
The views expressed by the individuals during this broadcast are their own opinions, and they may not be the same as those of their group or other organizations they may be involved with.
Warning: adult topics and content. You must be legal age of majority in your location to view. We are an educational, informative talk show, and our hosts may express their opinions passionately using explicit language. No offense is intended. Take a break and tune in for some great cannabis and psychedelic chit-chat. Learn what's going on in the cannabis industry, find out what's new on the review, and enjoy a laugh or two. Join us for today's Tokin Talk here on the Pace Radio Network with Reverend Cindy and Irene.
Hello.
Hi. I'm sorry, I was off looking at emails, and I'm stoned, so I was getting a kick out of I'm on our email, and none of them were read, and then all of a sudden they start showing up read, of course, because you're on their email as well doing things, and I was just getting a big kick out of that and not paying attention to the opening. I apologize.
That's okay. I can't even see our screen right now because, yes, I'm in the email and setting up our wheel generator. I've got all of our entries put on here now. And so when it comes time a little bit later, we are ready for a giveaway.
Good evening, Leona. How are you, my love?
Hello, everybody. Oh, look at, see my last nail that I did?
Oh, nice.
So I did the heart yin yang and then some champagne flutes with some little itty bitty hearts.
Now, is that stickers or did you paint that on?
That's painted on.
Nice.
But
very good job.
I can assure you, if I were doing somebody's nails and, we're on a time thing, it's stickers.
Yeah, you're not against the sticker.
That took 3 hours. And many wipes.
I would like to book with you on March 11th, actually.
Absolutely.
I think that would be a wonderful, relaxing Saturday evening after doing medicine in the morning. Look at me making appointments live on air, but
Yeah, nope. That's okay. It's open. You're now booked. I wrote it down here and I know I'm not that booked. I'm not booked that far ahead. So got you in there. Okay. I've been having so much fun getting creative with the nails lately. And again, I really do genuinely enjoy doing them and enjoy painting them and stuff like that. So it is a great sideline, but it's also fun to release that creative energy and transfer it somewhere else, because I think like a lot of people, if I'm doing something, let's say I'm doing designing at the time or I'm writing, I'm getting one of the shows ready. So I'm doing the research for it and I'm doing the content writing and the graphic design, and then I'm pulling all the pieces and I spend all day doing that. At the end of the night, my brain is still going. And so I don't sleep. Instead, I'm 3 o'clock in the morning with these brilliant ideas, right? That really aren't that brilliant. Whereas I find if I do something creative, like paint or sketch or do up a set of nails, a designer set of nails, it changes my creativity, my thought flow, that sort of thing. And I'm able to fall asleep easier. And I have more fluid dreams. So I'm enjoying this one this evening.
I've got
the pretty pink flower leaves. Yes. I have a happy face. Put on a happy face. Isn't that a song? Put on a happy face. I don't know where it comes from. That's the only line I know.
And now I'm going to think about that.
Oh, that's so tasty. I just
broke
broke open. Okay, so as you know, I grew several different strains this year, and after I bottle them, I usually keep a couple out, but I stash a few for this time of year when the bottles start to get empty or dry. Right, there's always still a few more in the cupboard or in the apothecary, and so a couple days ago, I broke out Girl Scout cookies, and I've been enjoying that. And
nice.
It's so nice. It is. It's so nice. This is another one that I grew this year. Really big bud. It's called Church.
Nice.
And it's a great strain for meditation. It's not a great pain reliever, though. You know how like you can get Granddaddy Purple or Purple Project or really any of the purple strains, and they're really, really, really good for pain. I really would have thought that church would have been as well, just because of the cannabinoid profile, but it's not. It has beautiful buds. You know, this is one of the tinier buds, and just to give you an idea. Whoops. You know, so it's nice, it's crystally, it's got nice form. I mean, it looks pretty, but it really didn't have that much of a hit. And I'm not a super fan of the flavor either. It's kind of stinky, like, I don't know, like dirty socks. It's not dirty socks, but you know, it's kind of that, I just walked into the boys' gym, or you know what I mean?
That's too funny. I just wanted to give a shout out. We said hi to Leona, hi to Rob, and hi to Carolyn, who is in here as well. Put on a Happy Face is by Dick Van Dyke from the musical Bye Bye Birdie. Thank you, Leona.
Yes. I love those old black and whites, and I love the musicals. I mean, I'm not a fan of TV, but I love cinema.
Yeah.
So one of my absolute favorites from the time I was really little is Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. And it's done by actually an East Coast writer, if I'm not mistaken. But why can't I think of his name right now? He did a few. He did a lot of stage plays. Anyway, Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. Absolutely loved it. And when I had a chance, I guess I would have been in my 20s, and I had joined the Fire Hall Theater thing, and you know, amateur theater, community theater. And we did that play. And I got to play one of the sisters. It was fun. I enjoyed it.
Very cool.
Yeah. Do you ever go to the theater or get involved with community theater? Or
I'm not much of an actress or a singer in front of people. Not that it's not something I haven't wanted to do, but I guess it's a combination of my CPTSD with the anxiety that comes from that. It's hard to get up in front of a stage, in front of people. And I mean, like, I know that people that have followed me have watched me speak at a few different events over the years. And they're like, they're like, yeah, right. No, seriously, I am terrified. You should come see me speak. I suck. I mean, I get things done and people understand me. And I've even moved a few people. I've had some people reach out to me. It's been wonderful. But compared to how I am when I'm alone, I suck. So that's why when you spoke last week about how you help people get past that little bit of fear, I'm like, well, damn, let's experiment with Cindy. Because I'm going to go speak again in April. So I think that's a good thing to do. It may help, right?
Oh, I can guarantee you it will help. I have seen so many success stories. I have one lady that I worked with, and we're just going to call her Annie because I don't want to give away names or anything. So Annie was up for a promotion, but she had to give a presentation to the board. And although she was more equipped and more skilled, and she had more experience and all the rest, she was terrified to speak in front of these people. Part of it was she felt like an imposter because they had always been the elite. She had always been outside of that group. So to go in and give a presentation to that group. So during her hypno treatment, we talked about how they had invited her in, and we went over several of the situations that she had gone through with interaction she had with several of the board members, and how, she had the confidence for this and the confidence for that. We just really just layered it upon layered. She was at her meeting, I don't know, I guess a week or so later. I get this phone call where I have literally, it was like something on television where you answer the phone, hello, and all you hear is, ah! on the other end. She was so happy. She said, wow, I rocked it. I owned the room. I was able to say what I wanted to say without being boisterous or without, over speaking. She was just really, really happy with the results. And the thing is inside our own heads, we can do that. We've just got to eliminate that shield or that curtain of fear that lives between the conscious and the subconscious. The guard dog who's on duty for the monkeys, we need him there to take care of some of the monkeys, but not all of them. Hello, everybody. So changing stage fright is phobias are one of the easiest to do with hypnosis.
There's two then we should work on. I don't know how many you can work on in one session, but I have two that the stage fright is the big one heading out there. But I'm terrified of needles. I know I'm covered in tattoos, but I swear to God, I have this phobia of this whole medical needle, surgical, dental thing,
That is so cool. It is so cool that you can do tattoos and that you're afeared or fearful of a different type of needle. So the fact that you can do one and not the other makes it really cool. It's like when people say they're afraid of heights. Well, what is heights? What is too high? Can you step up on a stool? Okay, so that's still a height. So it's not that height you're afraid of. What height? And once you start like really picking it apart with logic, it's almost like you break it apart like it doesn't exist anymore. Yeah. The best one though that one of my very early sessions was with a young lady who had been accepted to U of T, University of Toronto, and she was from the Great White North. Absolutely terrified of pigeons. When she went down to the city, she was walking through, and I guess, a big flock, how they do their thing and they come down and pick their bread. They have their times that they do their swirls and flocks and stuff. Well, that happened to her. I just terrified her. And she thought, oh my goodness, there's no way that I could go to school there. Like, where can I live where there's no pigeons? And it was a whole thing, a stressful thing. But she loves the circus. So, during a hypnosis, in order to get her comfortable with the pigeons, because we don't want her to avoid pigeons, we also don't want her chasing them down in the street, right? Yeah. We don't want her acting like one. We want her to accept the fact that they exist and be good with it. Make it a joyful experience. So in her mind, we created this little circus movie where the pigeons literally wear top hats and every one of their movements is something in the circuit, goes to the circus music.
Yep.
So she just got into the habit. Every time she sees pigeons now, it's kind of a giggle, like a
That's awesome.
Right? And she got to go to school, and so far her grades are great and she's enjoying school. She's not so sure on the big city thing though. I mean, she comes from Kapuskasing. I think the population is about 1,200.
I've got something exciting that we should share. Our network that we are part of, Pace Radio Network, this year has been nominated for an award with the Can Expo. It's really exciting. I mean, the network as a whole, so that means every show, every host, new and old, has been nominated together for this award, and it's really exciting. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm just purely thrilled that the whole place has been nominated.
When Al, our producer, sent out that notice that we had been nominated, I literally got tears in my eyes. It was like all of us, because we all put so much into it, right? So for us to be nominated is such a huge honor. And thank you to our audience, to our friends that, tune in for all of our shows. Thank you guys for the nomination, and thank you for being a part of the team. It's because of you we can do what we do. Do you know what I mean? It's like you say, you wouldn't normally go out and start preaching to people about cannabis, but the fact that this is a forum to do that and people like the forum, it's yay.
Yeah, absolutely. So the network owner, Al, as well as Green Irene over here, have put together some videos that just kind of we get to play once in a while and tell people about. So I've got one queued up, and if it's okay with my co-host over here, I'm going to play it.
Absolutely. Go for it.
We'll be back in a sec. Just watch this. a really great job. You guys did a fantastic job.
Thanks. We had so much fun. You know what? I really do. I love doing video production. It's one of those things where you can take all of your skills and ideas and lay them out on this canvas, and then cross your fingers and hope when you do render it, that it renders correctly. And that doesn't always happen, I can assure you. But Al and I had a lot of fun. And, using a tool like StreamYard, we can share screens. So it's like, okay, no, up to the left, your other left.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And there's quite a few videos. So we'll have more to share as the month goes on. You can vote for the entire month, and you can vote every day. You're not limited to one vote. You can vote and vote and vote and vote and vote. So, please, we really thank you for all of the time that you put into voting, because it does take a few minutes to go there and hit all the buttons. And we do appreciate how important people's time is. So thank you for your time.
Absolutely. And thank you well in advance, and thank you for the nominee, and thank you for all the votes. It's quite exciting. And I really don't know that much about the event itself. I know I've paid attention for the last few years, because it's not the first year that Can Expo is an event. I do believe one of the first I went to was mostly industry, and it was right about the same time as legalization. So it was mostly equipment that I remember seeing, like the big machines that weighed out your cannabis, that removed the stalk, that did this, that did that. It was more the production for retail that I saw at the expo I went to. But
they've all changed over the years, that's for sure. Like tomorrow we have we have the gentleman on that started the psychedelic and spirit medicine convention out west. So the first of its kind out west, right? So I get to learn a little bit about what he's done, but I've watched him over the years too, and that's all changed a little bit, because it used to be very similar, and now we're getting more shamans and more patients out speaking to how it helps and what it's done, and et cetera, et cetera. It's really, it's an exciting thing to watch, evolve.
Oh, absolutely. I was talking to someone just today from the dog park, take Wookie for a walk. And it doesn't seem to me, it doesn't matter where we go or what we do. We always run into somebody, and I find I'm always talking about cannabis. The earrings help. People say, oh, I like your earrings. And it's an excellent opportunity to open the conversation, right?
Yeah.
So that being said, talking with someone, they're going through some arthritic stuff. They actually suffer from a chronic condition that causes a lot of spasming in the body. And so with temperature changes, there's a lot of difficulties. Having these expos and these events over the years has afforded me the opportunity to learn all kinds of things. Like, I would have never have thought cannabis could be used topically. I would have never have thought to put it in my bath. I would have never have thought to, besides brownies and the fact that, oh my God, if I did cannabis, my brain was going to fry like an egg. I knew nothing, So when I first became a consuming patient, these events were huge. And at that point, they were all legacy market events. So they were private events, invitation only, that sort of thing. Loved them though. You would get there. Everybody's got so much information to share. If someone had told me 10 years ago that this is where we'd be today, I'd have lost my shirt on the bet, because never take me gambling. I also said the internet was going to be a phase.
And look at you now.
I was introduced to the internet well before it was the internet. I was introduced to it as the free net. So when the internet became a thing and computers were starting to show up in homes, I really didn't think it was going to catch on like it did, only because I knew it from an academia perspective, we were like, I was on the university bulletin boards coast to coast, and we were in unique chat rooms back then using Hopper. Like, you literally changed your coding to use hoppers to get across the free net and communicate with people. So I didn't see the internet becoming a big thing. I saw it being a time waster. It is. I didn't see it evolving to what it is today. But again, I'm impressed. And cannabis, although I think it should have rolled out a lot differently, it would have been nice to say, okay, we're decriminalizing for the first 5 years. There is absolutely no retail. So we can see what kind of influence and what kind of creativity the market itself creates over those first 3 to 5 years before.
Yeah, they did it completely wrong, and they've got a lot of tweaks to make it right. Like, I mean, they've made some, but they've got a lot more to go. They need a way to. I mean, they're not going to abolish the medical program. That's just, it's not going to happen. So they need a way to give the patients full access to affordable cannabis, which we don't have right now. Some patients, some provinces, most of them, 9 out of 10 of them, have decent access to cannabis for patients. Here in Nova Scotia, you have to go into the liquor store. It's just really gross. Like, I mean, I've said that a gajillion times. I'll probably say it a gajillion more. But yeah, like, I mean, we need decent access to our medicine, and we should also not have to pay the taxes and the tariff if you have a prescription.
I absolutely
have
agree.
Some sort of card that if we go into our dispensaries that are around, the legal dispensaries, and we walk in, we should be able to have a card that gives us those taxes and tariffs discounted.
Absolutely.
And then we just pay for the cannabis itself.
And I think too, then part of the problem with that, though, I think, is insurance companies, right? Because as soon as it's given a DIN number, a drug identification number, which it can't be because it's a plant and it's not stable. In other words, from one plant to the next, you're going to have differences.
Yeah.
And they can range from 13% to 28% difference. So hello.
Your favorite little bud tender.
Yes, Jessica. Hello, Jessica. I met Jessica in person. Finally, and she's looking so forward to meeting you when you get here in March.
Jessica, you did win this here a couple of weeks ago. Instead of mailing it, you're just going to have to come find me in March, okay? Because I'm staying in your town.
Yeah, we're all going to get together and do a lunch, I think, either a lunch or a coffee or something. We'll figure it out.
Oh, yeah.
But, we'll definitely connect. Jessica is working at the dispensary, my local dispensary. I have 2 of them here. I use one a little more frequently than the other. They just know me better. They have a better selection. I don't like to discourage any retailer, but Northern Helm is absolutely my go-to store locally. They've got a great staff, of which Jessica works there, and they know their clientele. Like, it's not just me. I notice when I'm there, because I'll stand around and stare at the boards and read all the names and see what's new and what's not. I'll see what's hanging around month after month. Because there isn't a retail store on the planet that would keep something on their menu if it wasn't selling. And if it's selling regular, it's a regular, right?
Yeah.
So I watch to see what these trends are. And so, other customers are coming in and out of the store behind me or in front of me or what have you. And I hear how they are with all the other customers as well. It's like, oh, hi, we haven't seen you in a few days. How are you feeling? Did that help with your back? Or did you like this? Or did you like that? What'd you think of that one? They know their customers. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing, especially in the cannabis community, in the cannabis industry, for newbies. And for, I have an auntie who couldn't wait to call me and tell me. And when I say an auntie, I mean, she's, Mattel's got to be in her mid 80s, early 80s to mid 80s. And she went into a cannabis store. She couldn't wait to get a hold of me to tell me that she went into a cannabis store, and how shocked those kids, they had to be around 40 were to realize she knew something about cannabis, which she doesn't, but she knows the right words, right?
That's funny.
But it's nice that they can feel comfortable. It's kind of like, it's just good to know. My only fear with it is a global takeover of A Brave New World. No, I haven't seen the series yet because it's not available in my area. It's restricted. But I did read the book 100,000 times if I've ever read it once, by Aldous Huxley. And in that book, they talk about soma on every corner in case you get down or blue or not feeling quite right. Just go to the corner and get some extra soma. Well, what the fuck is soma? I know it's made up in the book, but at the same time, is it weed?
Could be a few things.
Right?
Well, my joint has burned beautifully well, right down to the end. I'm impressed.
Very cool. Yeah, mine keeps going out. Oh. So yes,
Hey,
you notice my office has changed. I've actually moved rooms. This is just office and workspace room now. It's no longer shared space. And I'm still getting things set up. So I'm finding things that I lost, and it's been a real lost and found adventure, a scavenger hunt sometimes when I'm looking for something I need in the moment. But on the whole, I found a 1/4 ounce weed and 2 roll joints.
There you go. That's not bad.
Every time I pack up or am doing like a big project, a big moving project, or a big like spring cleaning project type kind of thing, there always seems to be a joint or some weed or something that goes missing. So when I get to that stuff again, it's like, oh, look, surprise.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. But I mean, I do the same thing, right? Like, I mean, usually with me, it is Karma Cup swag. So like, you get a gram of this or half a gram of that, or, this pre-roll or a syringe full of something. There's always some one of those treats in there. And I stash that away when I'm judging because, I mean, like, especially the last couple of years since getting into psychedelic medicine, I have no tolerance anymore. So like, I'm not going to get into that stuff before I'm like anywhere near like, so I mean, like I do, I mean, I put it away and then I forget about it.
Yeah. Yeah,
and then I get home from Karma and I'm all done everything. And I'm sitting here thinking, wouldn't it be nice if, and then I go, oh yeah. And then I have to go searching for it. But yeah, it's nice. It's nice to have leftovers.
Right. And that's kind of a fun little adventure all in itself.
Blue Maui is a cross between Blue Dream and Maui Wowie. I bet you it'd be really good.
Yes, actually, Blue Maui. Well, Blue Dream is one of my absolute favorites. And yeah, I think that, and Maui Wowie is just a really good, woohoo. Okay. It reminds me of Frankie Avalon. Remember Frankie Avalon and Annette Funicello from, I don't even remember the name of the movie or the show, but you know who I'm talking about. Every time I hear Maui Wowie, I think Frankie Avalon.
That's funny. Well, we are now, this has brought us, I'm going to trip over my words. I will be okay. We have now approached the time for break. It is time to pay some bills and hear from our sponsors. You are watching Irene and I here live on, oh my God, I was about to say the show I was on tomorrow, on Tokin Talk here on Medicated Mondays on paceradio.net and CBGTV.com. We'll be back in a couple of minutes after we hear from the sponsors.
Absolutely.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
Cannabis edibles are an effective way to manage pain and other ailments, especially when you deal with your trusted partner, Legacy 420, in Tyendinaga Mohawk territory. You see, we lab test every product on site to ensure proper dosage every time, which is critical when consuming cannabis edibles. All Legacy 420 edibles are made by our classically trained baker and chocolatier, and we also have super tasty vegan options.
Our baker has been in the industry for 25 years. She's also a chocolatier. Everything from savory to sweet, your chocolate bars, brownies, butter tarts, you name it, we make it.
Talk to our knowledgeable Canatechs about our incredible variety available. Give your trusted partners a call. Legacy 420 out on your road.
In February of 2022, the Victoria Cannabis Buyers Club and Ted Smith were fined $6.5 million. This for helping 8,500 patients with access to medical cannabis. In our interview with Ted, he spoke to us about how people can donate to help in an upcoming court challenge. And here is part of that interview. From what I've seen lately, I believe that you've got something that you're trying to do as far as fundraising to deal with this next court challenge.
For now, people can write checks directly to Jack Lloyd Law Corporation or send e-transfers to save the VCBC at gmail.com. I guess those are the two easiest ways for people to help right now.
PACE Radio is the People Advocating Cannabis Education Radio Network.
Enjoy the buzz of legalization with Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. From lights to plant nutrients, books, consumption accessories, and more, we've got all your basics to grow or consume cannabis. Visit our info center or take a look at our piercing services and body jewelry, now available in-store through Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford.
We are people advocating cannabis education here at paceradio.net.
That is my favorite one so far. Welcome back to Tokin Talk. Come have a tea with Reverend Cindy and Green Irene every Monday. I just wanted to point out a couple of messages over here. Mike is with me on the fact that tolerance is down to 0 after psychedelics. Dude, man, ever since I did iboga the first time, I've had no tolerance. I've greened out I don't know how many times trying to figure out what my tolerance is, but I've got it figured out. And May has joined us. May, why not? This is May's first time tuning into the show. Welcome, May. Come take a break and have a toke with us. It's just a lot of fun.
March is really enjoying. So it's March that's enjoying the Maui Wowie, because I can see there's two comments, one after the other. So yeah, Maui Wowie is definitely an awesome treat. And so Blue Maui Wowie, I bet you, is super delicious. Listen, if you're trying to find out what your tolerance is, I have some great news. The volume 1 of the Cannabis Consumption Bud Buddy Companion, so where you're recording your strains and such, goes on sale as of Valentine's Day. It goes on sale, and I believe it goes down to $7.10 American. That's because awesome. Volume 2 will be out at the end of March.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Exciting news coming from Irene. And of course, when that comes out, we will be featuring Volume 2 on a giveaway for sure. And we'll be talking about it. My other book is kind of full already.
Over 1,400 strains. So yeah,
I'm there easily with you, because just from doing different judging for different competitions, it takes no time for that number to go sky high.
Right. Yeah. Just the Karma Cup, there's over 200 different samples. Now there's only about 80 to 80 plus of them are different herb samples.
But your book allows us to put in concentrates as well. So the concentrates get to go in there. And really, if you wanted to, you could use it for topicals as well, just to keep track of them. You can put down as much as you know about what's in that topical and keep track of it. You'll know if you like it. You can go back and say, okay, well, I didn't like that bath bomb the last time I used it, so I'm going to go over here and try this one instead.
Right. Or making your own. I mean, that's.
And you caught me when you said something earlier in the first half that you never would have thought that topicals were something. I mean, like, I've been involved in cannabis, for recreational purposes since I was a mid-teenager, and seriously into the medical side for about 14, 15 years now. And even up until about 5 years ago ish, I never. What do you mean bath bombs, topicals? What do you waste my cannabis? Why don't you? I don't think so. And then somebody gifted me a little pack, and it had a bath bomb and some topicals and some whatever. And I'm like, all right, well, this isn't my cannabis wasted, I guess. So I went that night, I took a bath and I threw their bath bomb in. And oh my God, for somebody that suffers from fibromyalgia and arthritis and usually has muscles that are harder than a rock, so tensed up and in so much pain, I got out of the bath and could barely walk.
Right.
Like, I mean, I was loosey freaking goosey. And I'm like, oh, well, if that works, I'm going to try the rest of the topicals that are in that bag. And now I'm hooked on topicals. They make a huge difference.
Oh, they really do. So I'll tell you another story. Someone like the lady I spoke to at the dog park today, whom I brought over one of my little sample bags that has a little sample cream and a little sample bath salts, right? And a really simple recipe, make your own. It's definitely not retailable. Okay. So anyways, I bring it to this one lady, and she doesn't want to use it herself because she doesn't want to use cannabis, but her husband is willing, and he's having trouble with his hips and his shoulders. So she rubs it onto his hips and his shoulders for him. So I show up about a week later for a different reason. I show up, I'm going by. She stops me and she says, dear, come here. And this woman normally has hands, they're called witch's claws from the rheumatoid arthritis. They're all crippled and deformed from the inflammation in the knuckles and such. And she was a knitter back in her day, right? So this is how her fingers have formed. And she has these like claw-like hands. Well, I get up close to her and she says, you see that? Cindy, I thought she was going to slap me because she comes at me with a straight hand, right? And she says, you see that? And I went, yeah. And then she says, look, I can straighten them. And she was so hot. And that's from putting it on her husband. So now she wanted the recipe. Then she was making it for her church group. This was prior to legalization, everybody. So, but they are tremendously helpful in so many ways. During the COVID experience, I had a person come to me because they were just at their wits' end. They were scheduled for surgery prior to COVID because they had worn away the cartilage in their knees.
Oh, yeah.
So it was bone on bone, and he was scheduled for surgery, and then COVID hit. So he got tossed to the side, and halfway through the first year, he's like, here is a very big, very strong, very powerful man who is weeping in pain and discomfort and says, you know what, I can't live like this. This is insane. And I said, I don't know how much, it's not going to cure it, but it might give you some relief. So I got him started on a regimen of puffing and eating. So microdosing with the edibles for pain tolerance without getting the high. And then I also got him on using the cream regular. And
that's awesome.
he wrote me the most beautiful thank you letter that just said, it got him through the rest of until surgery, which was another 1.5 years, right?
Irene, I think we need to get you to do us a favor. I'm going to go on and explain the giveaway for next week, but will you please post the link for people to order your book? You've had a request.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Beulah, it's on its way. I'll send you the link. Thank you.
I love it when that happens. I love seeing those connections happen.
Right.
So we do have a giveaway from last week that Irene put up. It was a really epic giveaway. There is a t-shirt and a toque and a thing of papers, and that is all I can remember, but I know that there's something else in there. So Irene will pull that out in a minute, and here before we're done, we will. She's got the wheel ready to go, so we will figure out who wins that most amazing prize. And this week I have a giveaway, and to enter, I am just putting everything up here. To enter, you tune in, which you are doing now, to Tokin Talk Time with myself, Reverend Cindy, and Green Irene, to hear the catchphrase or the question or the trivia question to validate your entry. Email your name and entry answer to teandtoke@hotmail.com. That is TEAANDTOKE @hotmail.com. Please make sure you put both A's in there. I have had people ask me why it hasn't gotten there and have discovered that they haven't put the TEAAND TOKE. And do that by next Sunday at 7:10 p.m. And you will be in on the entry for this week's giveaway. Now, this week's giveaway comes from Christmas, actually. I received 2 advent calendars, and one was a smokable advent calendar and one was an edible advent calendar. The edible one was knock your socks off, hands down, 100% worth it. I will definitely be purchasing again this year, and I will definitely be sharing it with everybody and telling you where you can get it. It is the best, hands down, edible advent calendar I've ever had. The smokable one wasn't all smokable, though. When I reached out to them and said, your advertising said smokable, and I've got things that I can't roll in a paper, they said, oh, well, we'll fix that for you. And they sent me out replacement samples. So I took the non-smokables from my smokable calendar, and I've created a prize pack giveaway. And I've added a sticker to it. So that is the prize pack giveaway. So I'm going to show you what it is. You get a smoking lanyard, 2 packs of papers. You get a Band-Aid sticker, and you'll see why in a minute. Actually, I'll tell you why right now, because I have it all packed up in this box, which is a Band-Aid box. So I giggled when I saw the Band-Aid sticker, and I thought that has to go in there. You get a cute little cannabis leaf gold charm.
Very pretty, cute.
You get a little mini pipe.
Oh, nice.
You get a little mini grinder.
Very cool. Those are great for going to the park, and they fit in your, you never lose them. Yeah. Oh, nice. And that's 14, what they're great for. Yeah.
14 millimeter bowl. I got to put this stuff down now. You get some Randy's flavored hemp tips.
Oh, very nice.
Blueberry, I believe it is. You get some vanilla True Dose CBD lip balm. You get some True Dose 1-to-1 250 milligram CBD THC pain cream.
Very cool. Now you're saying True Dose.
That's the brand name.
Right, True Dose. So yeah, at first I thought you said Trudeau's, and I'm thinking Trudeau's.
My Newfoundland accent. What?
Political opinion.
You get a little glass tip for your joints.
Oh,
so
nice.
that is what you were all getting, and I'm going to pack it all up in this cute little box. So that is this week's giveaway. Now, the catchphrase or the question or whatnot, actually, Guy, it came to me here a couple of minutes ago. I noticed that Irene has silver type earrings on. This contains a gold weed leaf. So my question is, do you prefer gold or silver? Pretty simple. You just have to email, once again, email teandtoke@hotmail.com by 7:10 p.m. next Sunday, and tell us, do you like silver or do you like gold? and you'll be in on the entry. Pretty easy.
Excellent. Yeah, we don't put a lot of we don't make it a really tough question for a whole bunch of reasons. One, we're stoners, and I'd probably forget what the question was. Two, it's really more to make sure that you're not a robot, because we do get a lot of spam to the account. So again, if you're actually writing something in the email, then the algorithms let it through. So yeah, definitely get your name in. Beulah, I'm going to post the link now for the book, but I really do recommend waiting until Valentine's Day. That way you get it for $7.10 American, which I don't know what that'll work out to in Canadian, but it's definitely a savings. So yeah, here you go. There's the link to
the book.
Yeah, and it just went like everywhere apparently, but so there it is. And thank you for inquiring. And again, around mid-March, volume 2 will be available. That's really exciting. I really like the way volume 2 is coming out, because I've taken into account the evolving market and the different things we want to keep track of. I found out something very interesting by recording my strains and my consumption. As you know, I've been over 1,400 strains. Now, let me just get to one here in particular. I'm not going to pull the right one up, but to give you an idea of how I fill it out, right? So there's the name. It's a sativa, what my rating is on it, a couple of notes. What I did find out is that from Figure, which is one of the LPs, and I believe it's West Coast, they have an entirely different blackberry kush.
Yep.
In that one's an indica, one's a sativa, and this has the same strain name. So for just going into the dispensary, asking for a specific strain, you want to kind of keep track of who your LPs are, who your growers are. By the way, what did you think of Urban Remo or Remo Farms Supercharge?
I haven't had one yet.
Oh my!
I'm in Nova Scotia.
Oh right! Oh no! Okay, well I will make sure that I have one here for you when you arrive.
Thank you.
And now I've asked Northern Helm to get it in stock, but again, they are one store of many. So there's a head office store, there's, processes. So I'm not holding anybody responsible, but yes, I'm hoping that it'll be in my local store, because I don't like having to order from the OCS and having to have this, 3-person delivery system to get to my door.
We should get into your giveaway from last week and pull up the wheel and give it away.
Oh yes, we're at that time. All right, are we ready? So we had several entries this week. I guess I have to share my screen though, don't I?
You're in charge of that one.
I smoked that whole joint by myself, and you know what? I think it was my first non-medicatable. Anyway, let's just do this tab. We're going to share this tab. Yes, that's what I want. And there we go. Is it showing up? Was it showing up?
I see it there. There it is.
We are. All right. Here's our entries this week. And woot woot. Okay. And we're going to go over. We got everybody's name in place. And 1, 2. Oh, let's put the sound on. Yep. 1, 2, 3. Woo woo!
Yay!
You are the lucky winner. Yay! Congratulations!
Oh my God, you used the sound effects. I'm so fucking excited. Oh, congratulations, Mike. You didn't just win. You were the first person that got to receive the sound effects. I am so happy.
Oh, very cool. So there we go. We have our lucky winner. Mike's our lucky winner. And that is of the that was yeah, so that was the Drizzle Factory t-shirt. Well, you were at Karma, so remember the girls that were at the front at the entrance and they gave out toques and t-shirts? They gave me a whole bunch so that we'd have some giveaways for whatever
Nice.
at whatever point in time, right? For whatever we were doing. So yes, so there's a toque from the Drizzle Factory, a t-shirt from the Drizzle Factory. And because we were talking about the Karma Cup and all the fun and interesting stuff and the evolution of that event, which has been pure legacy for the first 9 years. In fact, it was very private for, I believe, the first 2 or 4 years. And then it kind of became a legacy, more public thing. And then with legalization, they have now teamed up with the OCS, and we are going to have a fully combined, hybridized Karma Cup. And I think, this has the potential to be freaking amazingly great.
I'm so excited.
Or just, yeah. So we'll see how it goes. Like, I mean, it's exciting. So because we were talking about that, I have some product left extra from Karma Cup stash stuff that I have, which included a grinder, I believe some wrapping papers, and I'd have to look at and a lighter, and there was Karma Cup stuff there. I don't remember it all now, and I'm not sure because I just moved my office, as I said. So it is in one of those.
She doesn't have a Band-Aid box to put it all in.
It's actually in a nice ready to go envelope. It just needs an address. That being said, Mike, please send us your mailing address and let us know where to ship this off to. Send it in private message or via email would be great. Okay.
Yeah.
And,
thank you.
Yeah, and it's on its way to you. So that's awesome. And thank you for remembering, Cindy, because, as we all know, I don't. By this time of the show, I'm stoned going, okay. There was a picture graphic I was working on, and the girl's sitting on the couch, and up behind there's a fire going on behind her, but she's got this right mellow buzz happening right in the zone. Doesn't hear all the fire trucks. Yeah, that's where I like to be. After a long, busy day, that is definitely what is required, right? So we've been doing all kinds of video production. There's all kinds of exciting news happening. If you wanted to show one of our videos, or we could just tell everybody, maybe run the banner. If you want to vote for Pace Network as one of your favorite cannabis podcasts, you can. You can do it once, twice, 3 times, or as many times as you like, as often as you like, every day, to help us win the award. I mean, the fact that we're nominees is like, wow, right?
Yeah.
And thank you for making that happen. Honestly, I don't know how to express that without sounding very patronizing, but I really do. It's like I said, when I got that message from Al, I got tears in my eyes. It's like, oh my God, everybody's got to be so excited. Like, I felt the group excitement,
Yeah.
It was so cool.
Yeah, very exciting stuff. I'm very thrilled to have this happen. I am the network as a whole, the Pace Radio Network is pretty cool to see it. We will have there are a number of people that live in Ontario and that live close enough to go, so we will be well represented at the awards for sure. If we do happen to win, I will be there virtually, of course, because I live here, and I'm planning to be there at the beginning of the month. So I won't be there when the awards are happening. I will be back home preparing to go for more medicine in British Columbia and speak out there. Yay.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, you're very welcome, Mike, and congratulations. Thank you for tuning in. Honest, it's cool. It's nice to have a crew that you kind of get used to checking up on, or knowing that they're going to be around, Okay, verbal diarrhea.
That's okay. We're still running on the high from being nominated, I think is what it is.
It's definitely
when we get talking about, I don't know about you, but when I get talking about that, the verbal diarrhea happens very, very easily. And then I start getting excited, and then I trip over my words. It just happens.
Well, yeah. Oh, well, and like I say, I mean, I talk so much about the weed. It's constantly. I go to the dog park, and all of a sudden I'm bringing somebody cannabis cream and you know, the bath salts to soak their hands in and stuff, and I can't wait. So yeah, when we get on the show here, it's nice to be around like-minded people where I'm not doing the whole preach. Well, I guess I do preach anyway, don't I?
Well, I mean, yes, but no. You know, it's good. You know, we talk about things, and then we go off with our own stories of how things affect us. And if that's preaching, then yeah, I guess you do. But if that's just sharing, then I think it's more leaning towards that side. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks. So I'm sitting in a meeting there fairly recently, a virtual meeting, and I'm sitting in on this meeting, and as it turned out, someone else in the meeting happens to know me from a past life when I was a computer tech and design, you know, back in the 90s. I was a whole different stream of things. I just took those skills with me into what I do now. And we got on to starting there and talking about that, and then how these shows come to be and how this moves to that. And I got to say, oh yes, and we're up for an award this year.
Oh, that's exciting. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
It is. And we will talk more about that next week, because it is sadly time for us to go.
Yes, but do check out our list of shows. We have shows 6 days a week, starting with a psychedelics integration show on Sunday. Then Monday is news and something else on Monday. I think it's the patients.
Us.
Sorry?
Us. We're on Monday.
Oh, we're on Monday.
Okay, I'm going to take over now. Tuesday, we have the Mushy Moment. Wednesday, we have the Pace Radio Show, as well as, I always get yours mixed up. Wednesday's
Cannabis
meditation,
creative
right?
Visualizations.
Oh, I had them backwards. Fuck. Thursday, we go back to the Pace News with myself, and then Irene is back on Friday, and Ashley is in on Sunday. So you have us 6 days a week. We do take Saturdays off because, you know, even we need some time off once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you for joining us. It has been our pleasure here from the paceradio.net and cbgtv.com. I hope to see you again next Tuesday. Have a beautiful night.
Great night, guys. Be happy. Stay
You're
healthy.
listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
The opinions of the individuals during this broadcast are their own, and may not be the opinions of their group or other organizations they may be involved with. All medical advice during our broadcast is not a medical opinion and should be checked with your medical physician.
When you have a pain that's reached its peak, Legacy for 20, it's so unique. If organic cannabis is what you seek, here's your trusted partner 7 days a week. Suppository salves, vapes and drops, topicals, edibles, infused pop. Just when life seems like it ain't easy, at Legacy 420, enjoy a pop freezy. Lab tested products, make them the GOAT. Legacy 420 out on your road. Legacy 420 in Tyndonega Mohawk territory. Indigenous organic cannabis at its finest.
What do you find at paceradio.net? People advocating cannabis education.
Enjoy the buzz of legalization with Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. From lights to plant nutrients, books, consumption accessories, and more, we've got all your basics to grow or consume cannabis. Visit our info center or take a look at our piercing services and body jewelry, now available in-store through Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford.
We are people advocating cannabis education here at paceradio.net.